Hello everyone. I don't know if you recognize that song, but it's a song that was written by Dylan, and Don't Think Twice, It's All Right. I'm actually not going to go over how to play that song today. That was not really my purpose of this video. I know that if I put this video out, I'll get a million questions about how do you do that finger picking style. And in fact, it seems like lately all the stuff I put out, I've been getting that question over and over again. So I thought today we would go over it. I know I give you little bits and pieces, but I thought maybe today we'd do a little bit more than just little bits and pieces, maybe give you some exercises that you can do to get your hand to do what you tell it to do. It takes a little training. It's it's sometimes kind of challenging, but it can be done, and it is done. And if you methodically approach it and slowly approach it, you can train your brain to pick like that, okay? So I just thought maybe I would show you how I do it and maybe some different ways that you could start working on it so that you can get your fingers to do that cross pick like this. And I picked this song because I think it's a good example of it. It's a great song. I love this old song. So yeah, I think a lot of times when we teach guitar, we focus on the chords and everything up here, and it takes more than just making chords to play the guitar. You got a whole different hand you have to deal with, whether it's for strumming, using a pick, using fingers, using thumb picks, and I didn't use one today. There's different people that will never use a thumb pick. I use it sometimes, and sometimes I just would prefer just using my hands just naturally. And some people grow their nails so that they're just perfect and they go and have a manicure. Some people have artificial nails put on. I worked in a hospital and we weren't allowed to do artificial nails because they breed germs. So I just have never gotten into that. I just play with my thumb and my fingers. But getting these fingers to do the picking, it can be challenging because there's so many different ways that you can mix it up. So let's start out with I'm going to turn this a little bit so you can see here. Usually when I'm picking, my hands just below here, right kind of in this part of the sound hole. I mean, you can pick back here, but it's a totally different sound. And you can pick up here, but it's a totally different sound. Most people just pick about right here. But you'll notice my hand position, something about it. I think sometimes when we approach this, we might think that you have to have your fingers lined up like this. And it virtually is not, it's not natural to do that. It wouldn't work to have your fingers lined up in a row so that they're picking one behind the other. There has to be a slant to it. You'll notice, see how that is? My pointer finger is closer up here and my pinky finger's further back here. And that's how it's picking. You see that? So, and you'll also notice my wrist. I'm not doing this. And I'm not doing this, although I can do this because sometimes I want to mute the strings. And so I use this part of my my hand, just, you know, the heel of my hand to kind of touch the strings, to try to get that string muted just so. And it gives you a whole different sound to it. So, but how you play the strings, you want to keep this wrist, for the most part, if you're not muting the strings, you'll see it's coming in pretty straight. It's not curved up. It's in a natural position. It's like this, not like this, and it's not like this. It's like this. It's relaxed. And the fingers, as I stated, the ring finger is further back than the pointer finger. And the thumb, when I pick, it's not the tip of my thumb, it's the side of my thumb right here. And you notice my hand is, I like a small body guitar. To me, it's comfortable. It's not that I can't play a larger guitar, I have. But when it comes to comfort and playing, and the older I get, it seems to be more senior citizen friendly to use a small body guitar. I was thinking about starting a senior citizen friendly guitar list. I can think of some guitars right now that I would put on that list because they have certain features that I think people that are older, when they're trying to learn how to play, you know, in their 60s or 70s, actually 60s is young. I'm in my 70s, so I start feeling old now. But as you're approaching 70s and 80s and you want to learn how to play the guitar, you know, picking the right guitar is super important. And I think you need a guitar that's senior friendly. That's just my thought. And so what would that be? Well, it would be lightweight, small body. I think the how wide your fingerboard is, the size of your nut, really is preference. But it, you know, some people might like it a little bit wider, and some might want it a little narrower. And of course, certainly the scale a little bit shorter. Like this is a 12 fret, so everything's condensed down this way, so my arm isn't way out here to play. It's closer in. You'll notice I have a capo on here today. I did it so that I don't lose you up here in the frame of my video. And I'm videoing on an iPhone, so it just gets everything to fit in here so you can see everything. So, but so you can see there's certain things that as a senior that you'd want to have in terms of lightweight, small body, short scale. And so I'm thinking about that. I'm thinking about making a list of senior-friendly guitars. If you were to make a list of senior-friendly guitars, do you have one you'd put on there? I'd like to hear your list or hear your options. I can think of one right now. I'm sitting there looking at it. It's a guitar that's it's a Shure by Loudon guitar. It's an S2. I have the S2. It's really nice. And then there's a PRS that I have. It's called the Tonnerre. I think that's really nice. And these are actually, you know, below $1,000. The Tonnerre, I think you can get into it for $400 or $500. This is more expensive. Definitely, this is senior friendly. But you probably couldn't touch one of these. This is a Gibson, and it's made in the United States. You'll notice it says D Gibson. It's pretty neat. It's an L1, small body, very comfortable, but probably be about $3,000 to get into something like this. This one's a 12 fret, so everything is condensed in terms of the scale. It's a 12 fret, that's why it's so short, but the scale on this is like 25/4, which surprised me, which is kind of a standard scale. But because it's a 12 fret, I get that feeling of that, you know, being shorter or everything closer to me. So I like that. This is senior friendly. I got off the subject. We want to talk about finger picking, I know, but I just thought I'd bring that up as we go along because what you're learning on is extremely important. And when we learn the guitar, we tend to focus on these chords and we forget about talking about what's going on down here. And you can't assume that. You can totally change what you're playing by how you pick, by how you strum, it will change everything. So it's really important that we give equal attention to both sides of the playing. So I thought today we'd give attention to this finger picking. And in this case here, I'm using this example by Dylan. And there's this traverse picking style here, meaning that we're alternating pattern. Thumb, finger, thumb, finger, thumb, finger. And that's what I'm going to get at today. There's many different ways to pick the guitar, but I'm just going to show you one and give you a way to approach it. Okay, so here we go. Let's give it a try. So I've said this over and over again, but for the most part, when I play the guitar, these three fingers are dedicated to strings 3, 2, and 1. Okay? It's not that I have to always stay there. I break the rules and move them around a little bit. But for the most part, that's where they live. That's their job, okay? And the thumb is picking strings 6, 5, and 4. So you have to train your thumb to learn its job. And you have to train these fingers to learn their string that they're supposed to be playing. And so in order to do that, it's probably best maybe to start with the thumb, okay? And because it's kind of working independently of these fingers, okay? I mean, each one have its own job, but this thumb's got its own mind because it's going back and forth like this. And these fingers are alternating. And it's actually playing in between the thumb. My neighbor's dogs are barking, so if you hear that, it's not my dogs. I don't know why they're barking. They probably hear somebody out front. But yeah, it's my neighbors. Love my neighbors. Okay, so anyway, so back to this. So we're working with the thumb first, okay? And so I think a good thing to do is to start with alternating the thumb back and forth between 6 and 4. And just work with that for a while. Maybe spend like 3 or 4 minutes every day letting that thumb know this is their job. So start out by 6, 4, 6, 4, and then move to 5, 4, 5, 4. You might put out a metronome so you get that tap. Just just work that thumb, because what you're trying to do is get the brain to say, thumb, that's what you do. That's your job, okay? and so you want to work that a bit, okay? That's what you should be doing. So and you'll notice the whole time I'm anchoring these 3 fingers. They're kind of ready to go, okay? All right, so once you've worked that thumb a little bit, then go down and work with your fingers a little bit. They're responsible down here. So what you might do is make a chord, like the D chord. And just practice alternating. And give a few minutes to that every day, like 2 or 3 minutes. So I'm playing strings 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. When I number the strings, this high E is a number 1, low E is a 6. So it goes in that order. When I number my fingers, my pointer finger is number 1. So number 1 is on number 3 string, okay? 3, 2, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2. And do it slow. And again, you'll notice how my fingers are positioned. They're not straight across. They're turned a little bit. And it's natural to fall into place like this. Just loosen your hand up and let it fall into place, okay? Where that's comfortable, that should be that's the right position. And then just practice that. And eventually, fingers I'm throwing in the thumb. The thumb is picking string 4, 5, 4, 5. Okay? So you start it out, and then you threw in the thumb. Okay? And you'll notice it was thumb followed by, and then it picked the 5th string. Okay, so you would do something like that. All right. So far, what we have is start with the thumb, 6, 5, 6, 5, then go 5, 4, 5, 4, and do that for a little while, 3 or 4 minutes. Then come over here and do this for a while. And then go ahead and start playing for string 5 and 6, or 4 and 5. Yeah, 4 and 5. Okay, all right. And then, after you do that for a few minutes, try doing this. Make a G chord and just play the thumb on the 6th string. And then your first finger is going to do string 3. And then take your thumb on the 4th string. And then your ring finger is going to play string 1. What I'm trying to get you to do is to start this alternate picking. As you get faster, but that takes a little while. But I'm showing you what it leads to. You have to start slow. Okay, it's got to be slow. G chord. Do this. And if you don't want anybody to hear it, then sit there, mute your strings. And spend as much time as you can doing that. And as you get used to it, speed it up. Put it on a metronome. Start it real slow and then speed it up. Okay? So those are just some exercises you can do, because of what it leads to is well, I'm going to leave that right there, and I hope that helps you. And for those of you that wanted to know what I was doing, that is what I'm doing. I'm alternating picking. Pretty much when I play this song, it's pretty much between fingers 1 and my pointer and my ring finger, okay? String fingers 1 and 3. On strings 3 and 1, really, and my thumb alternating between strings 6 and 4. But sometimes I am throwing in some other notes, as you'll notice. It's not perfectly that way, but I'm just trying to give you a place to start, okay? What I do sometimes is once I start getting, when I've gotten, get a little more comfortable with picking, is I get on to YouTube and look for like a drum track, just the beat. That's all, some kind of drum track that's playing. It might be some, I don't know, any type of beat. And then try to, then mute your strings And with my fingers, I try to match what the drum player. And it's kind of fun to do, but it teaches you to loosen up and let your fingers play too. Let them play. Don't be stiff about it. Right now, you'll have to be stiff about it till you learn. But in time, they do their own thing. They're playing their melody too. And a lot of times you're not even thinking about it. You're feeling it through. And it's not, I know a lot of people like to play looking at tabs and they match up perfectly. The finger, the everything, and that's great. You can do that. But it's really nice to be able to play spontaneously with somebody, feel it out, and bring forward the sound that you want, because your fingers can carve it out, okay? And it's a little more unique, but it's a lot of fun to do too. So, but there's different ways to approach it, but that's just something I thought I'd share with you today. I hope that helps, okay? So, with that, I'm going to leave it there. It's 4th of July weekend and coming up, and it should be a good time. Did you know that I hit 20,000? Can you believe that? I actually hit 20,000 subscribers. I'm just floored. It's been working at this for about a year, not quite a year and a half, but it's pretty exciting to see that growth. Thank you so much, everyone. And I am going to leave it right there, and I hope you have a great day or night wherever you are in this world.